Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our City Ready session. Today we will be going over um, part one of our City Ready sessions. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Diane Torres, and I will be presenting to you today, our first part of our City Ready session. I would love to get to know you guys, your name and your major. So please share that on the comment section of this YouTube live. And thank you for joining us once again. Good morning to everyone who's joining us today. I would do a short introduction of myself. Um, my name is Diane Torres. I am a peer mentor at San Diego City College in the first year services department. My major has been accounting. I've been here for 4 years. And so City College really helped me achieve my goal. It gave me a community, and it gave me also that support and encouragement to continue and not stop. Together with me, we have Edward Dupart, which will be helping me in this presentation.
Hey, everyone out there. Thank you for joining us today for our City Ready session, part one. I just want to say I'm happy to have you guys all with us. You're in for a special treat. My name is Edwidge Dupart, like Diane said, and I'm the Peer Mentor Coordinator of the First Year Services Peer Mentor Lab at San Diego City College, one of the best colleges, in my opinion, community colleges. So I just want to let you guys know that this was designed for you all to receive the help that you need in navigating through the portals like MySDCCD, Canvas, and our amazing dynamic remote online services that we have for you. And so please, if you have any questions or comments or any suggestions, I would like for you to post that in the comment section, and I will be moderating that and answering your question as Diane presents. As well as if you could just tell us who you are, your major. We want to hear from you. This is a seminar, live seminar, but we want to make sure it's as engaging as possible. So please communicate, all right? Thank you so much, Diane.
And so once again, let us know your names, your major. I would like to let you guys know that the peer mentors were available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can call us for support at 619-800-2739, or you can also email us at sdcitycollegepeeradvocates@gmail.com. You can also make an appointment to the link that we will be posting in the chat. We're also available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where we are constantly posting updates and new information and of different resources available. Our handle for that is at SDCityFYS. And then, of course, please subscribe to our channel at SDCityFYS Peers. Follow us and you will get a notification every time we go live and every time we post a video. Now, I want to get started with today's presentation. So let me share my screen. So some of the topics we will be going over is the San Diego City College website, the remote online services, MyCCCD, and then Canvas. And so the purpose of these sessions and going over these topics is to help you be better prepared for the virtual education at City, as well as insight on how to be successful and connected with our campus resources and support programs. And so these are the topics that we will be going over. Now, going to our first topic, we want to go over the San Diego City College website. And we want to briefly just go over what you can find on this website. It's a very useful tool for you as a student, given that right now we are doing classes online and it's virtually online. So as you can see, we have the San Diego City College here. the URL is it's sdcity.edu, and we will be posting that in the chat as well so that you can follow along and have these links for you. Um, so as you can see, this black bar is where we would be getting updates. We also have these tabs where you can look at information about academics, future students, life at City, community. If you're a current student, you can check out this tab. And as you scroll down, if you're a new student, you can apply, register for classes. This is a tab that, or yeah, these are tabs that are like slides, so they move and they give you information. In this case, this one is counseling and personal growth department. There was one for graduation. And then once again, you have all these tabs for you. You can check these out, check some videos, check some experiences from other students. And then we have all these different resources that you can take advantage of. The one that I want to point out is this webpage, Remote Online Services, because this one specifically is the website that you can check out for um, how to contact a specific department, how to get appointments. As of right now, you will find information of all the departments' um, contact information. And so these are updated as of current, and they're constantly being updated. Okay, so right here you will see the different departments, and if you click on the tab, and I want to highlight a few, so let's say you want to get in contact with counseling, you would just click on the red tab and this information pops up. When you um, click on the web page, it'll lead you to their web page, or if you click on here to schedule an appointment, you would click it and it would upload the form where you can submit your appointment date and time that you wish to have. We do have videos posted where we show you specifically how to go through that system, and they do have videos posted on their YouTube channel, so I encourage you to check them out. For the financial aid office too, um, they are assisting students. For them, it's more email, so you want to click on it on their webpage. And so they are having financial aid town halls, and they answer general questions regarding the financial aid process during the pandemic. They have 2 days every week. It's Tuesdays from 2 to 3, and then they have Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So I highly encourage you to check these times, these Zoom meetings, if you have any questions, any general questions that you want answers to. Okay. Going back to the remote online student services page, as you can see, we already went through counseling and financial aid. It's very easy to just go through these departments and check them out through their web pages. Finally, I do want to go over, let's see, the Student Health and Mental Health Center. You know, they also have the health advice line that you can call during their hours of operation and their phone number, and you can check out their webpage. Okay. And then the Mental Health Counseling Center, also available during business hours, and to them they can you can request a mental health telephone consultation. So as you can see, the Student Health Clinic is very good for the advice line and for referrals, as well as the Mental Health Counseling Center. I just want to point out that this does not replace, if in case of emergency, that you do not call 911. You want to call 911 in case of a emergency, either physical or mental. So please don't forget that in case of emergencies, call 911. But we have this support system for you as students. And as well, they put up the for emergencies too, for mental health emergencies, you can call this number or text courage to 741-741. So we have these resources for you. Okay. And then finally, we are here. FY is Peer Mentor Lab. Once again, this is how you can contact us. Um, and you can even click here to make an appointment with us. Check out our website. And and as I did right here, I just clicked on a tab. I was able to open their web page, see their contact information. I encourage you to check all the tabs of the departments that you're interested in, and even the ones that you're not, just so that you can see what they offer and how you can get in contact with them. Okay. Now, let me return to our PowerPoint, because I want to now hear from you if you have any questions on these resources. What do you guys think of these resources? We went over briefly over counseling, um, mental health, student health, financial aid. This should allow you or make it easier for you to contact these departments even though we are remote online. Also, if you're just joining us, thank you for joining. Um, feel free to ask any questions or just comment on this information, because we do want to make this presentation as interactive as possible. Okay. If you haven't done so too as well, we do have a sign-in link that we will be posting on the chat. So I encourage you to please post that or fill out that form for us. We want to know who is here today with, you can state your name and major. We're really interested in getting to know you. Once again, my name is Diane Torres, and I'm a peer mentor, and I'm going to continue with our next topic. If there aren't any questions or comments, okay. Okay. So our next topic is navigating MySTCCD. So for MySTCCD, as I mentioned last week or the first presentation, this website is a one-stop shop to add classes, to see your financial aid information, and receive important messages and information on your financial aid and your classes. So it's really useful because you just go on one page and you can see all of this information. You can also go over how to we will also go over mainly how to add classes and how to pay your fees and how to understand your financial aid tab. These are the main points that we want to show you. Now, to get to my SDCCD, here you go. You want to search myportal.sdccd.edu. As you can see, a good way to identify these websites is that you will see this star at the top, and it'll say San Diego Community College District. You want to log in using your user ID and password. Your user ID will be your 10-digit student ID number, and your password should be at the time that you created the account, that password that you created. It should be an 8-character password with at least one symbol and one capital in it. If it's your first time logging in to my portal, then you will need to set up an account. We will be posting that specific link on how to create your SDCCD account. You do have to still input your student ID number, your name and student ID number. Make sure your email matches the one on file. And then you also have to make sure to answer the 5 security questions that it prompts you. Okay, and I highly suggest you to write these down because this will make the process easier in case something happens to your password that you have to change it. The other thing I wanted to point out, if for any reason you're having issues logging into your portal, I encourage you to contact the admissions department and fill out the help ticket, the login that we will be posting on the chat too, so that it is easier for you to regain that access. Okay, so I want to go to my own student dashboard, because the first thing that we want to go through is how to get to, or how it looks like. So let me uh, pause my share. Okay. So as you can see, the first thing once you log in is that it gives you this important message. You want to read over it. It gives you updates and information that you want to make sure you know, and that you're up to date as well on this information. Let me click close, and then I want to click the college student dashboard. And as you can see, it has these three little um, people in red, blue, and then it's like a teal color, greenish blue. Okay, so as you can see, this website, you have your menu on the left side. It gives you your welcome statement with your name. It shows you if you have any items pending, and then it shows you your class list. If you don't have any classes that you're currently enrolled in, it'll just show you that your registration date is at a certain time and date, and so that's the date that you can start adding classes to. So it has to be after that date and time. Okay. So I want to briefly just go over how you would add classes. As you can see on the left side, it has my academics, my education plan, um, plan by requirements. So here is mainly things that you want to do, like if you need to apply for graduation, it will be under my academics. If you want to plan by your ed plan and you already met with the counselor, it should show up here, your ed plan, and then the list of your ed plan to where it links it to the class schedule, and you can see what classes you can add to it. You can also view milestones if that's something that you need to see. A what if report is um, it shows you what would happen if you added certain classes, what your semester would look like. Your transfer credit report, you can view that, and then of course you can apply for graduation. If you already applied, of course you can also view your graduation status. Under my classes, this is the main place where you would be able to actually search for a class and add a class. You can also, in this portion, view your unofficial or request official transcripts. Then we have my finances, where you can make payments um, by a parking permit or ASG card, and then see your payment history, so what you have paid. Any tuition and fees you might need to pay, it'll show up here. And then if you are eligible to get the 1098 tax form, here's where you would be able to view it and download it or print it out from whichever computer you're logging into. The last two is, once again, my financial aid. So the difference between my finances and my financial aid is that my finances is where you would make a payment, and my financial aid shows you what financial aid you're going to receive for every academic year. And you can even accept or decline awards in this section. For my personal information, here's where you would edit any information that you would need to, or update any information that you need to, like address, email address, and that sort of thing. You can also see your holds, and you would also have access to your message center. So any information that a department wants you to know. So it could be from financial aid that they want to make sure that you're filling out a certain form, um, or that you have to submit an appeal. So that's where they would give you that information. Now let's go over how to add a class. So let's go to class search. And so basically the way that you would search for classes would be selecting the term that you're searching the class for. So in this case, fall 2020. You want to leave the course career like that. Then for class search, you want to click um, the the specific college you're trying to get the class in. This doesn't have to be just City College. It can be Mesa and Miramar. But I highly encourage you to take the class at City. Of course, if that class isn't available, you can always go to Mesa and Miramar since they are in the same district, and you wouldn't have to do another separate application because you only need one application for all three colleges. So let's say I'm looking for a class at City. Now I would choose the subject. Let's say I want to take an art graphic design course. If you know specifically the course that you want to take, you can limit your search by choosing that specific course. You can also limit your search further by selecting if you want the class online with set meeting times or online with no set meeting times. Then you can choose the session. So the primary term session, the short first week, second 8-week session, or just short term sessions in general. If you have a class number already, so you already know the CRN, so this is different than the course number. If you already have the class number, you can just type it in without having to change anything. You would just have to make sure that the term says the semester that the class will be in. And once again, if you want to see honors. And you can also select to show open classes only. Also, if you're looking for a specific professor that you want to take the class with, right here it says instructor last name, you can change it to is exactly or contains, and you can put in their last name and it will search it for you. This also limits it further, your search, if you are very specific to what meeting dates and times you want the class to be. In this case, I'll make it simple. I have it art graphics and I want to just search. Another pointer before we continue that I want to make sure, if let's say you went to several colleges and it's not showing up, you can just generalize your search and leave it blank as well. And then it'll show you all possible classes available for all three. So I'm going to choose city and I'm going to click search. Okay, so as you can see, these are the search results. It gives me, since I didn't pick a specific course, it's giving me all of them, and I can click this arrow and it'll come down, or it'll minimize them or maximize them, so I'll show them all. In this case, I want to look at this typography course number. This is the class number, and so these are the days and times. As you can see, it says TBA. So this means that this class has no set meeting days and times. This is also supported by the fact that where it says location, it says online, no set meeting times. And then for room number, it just says city web. So this class is solely online. You don't have a set meeting time. You just want to make sure that you're doing the coursework and logging in online by the times or the times that the instructor requires you to. So it might be that you need to go online twice a week or once a week, but the professor will definitely tell you at the beginning of the class. Meeting dates, this is very important for short-term classes. You always want to make sure that you're seeing when the class will start and when the class will end, since some short-term classes will start at the towards the middle of the semester and end with the semester, or they can also even um, start at the beginning and end early, or start sort of in the middle and end early in the semester. So keep in mind these meeting dates. And of course, campus, it just says City College. But if you were searching a general search to all three, you would want to make sure that you know at which campus you're taking the class in. Okay. This one for status, the green circle means that the class is still open. And then the triangle means that there's, even though, so the class is full, but you can still waitlist the class. You can still be put on the waiting list. But this one, the one that's on in with a square, that means that the class is full and the waiting list is full. Now, I want to mention some pointers to when you're looking at the class details and you're going to waitlist the class. But before I do that, I want to mention this one, 174A Book Arts. I want to mention it because I know that the class is closed, but as you can see, it says City Remote. City Remote means that this class, even though it's online, you can still take it, or you still have to meet a certain time and date um, online with the class. So that will be with the professor and with your classmates. And that will be mostly on Zoom. So you have to make sure that you're also keeping an eye on that, because even though some classes are completely online, right now all classes are virtually online. It's just very dependent on if you do have a set meeting time where you're meeting with a class and your instructor, or if it's just online citywide. So they're a bit different. Now I want to see these wait list. I want to show you the a waitlisted class, and I want to show you the class details. Okay, so right here we have this advanced topography class, and the status is waitlisted. We see that by the triangle and because it says waitlist. Okay, so if you scroll down, it gives you these meeting information, dates and times. It says city remote. So we do have to meet. If I would have taken this class, it says Zoom sessions and office hours. It gives me the course ID, the dates it's meeting, the units, notes. So that's where it told me that it's fully online, but we're still meeting with Zoom or through Zoom. The class address, so city remote, once again, campus is closed. And then we have the enrollment requirements. So we have that it's advised that I should have taken Art Design 106 and that it is degree applicable and it's transferable to a CSU. Now, this is where you want to pay attention. If you're trying to waitlist a class, you want to pay attention to the class availability. Now, the reason why is because if you notice that there is only one person on the waitlist, that means you have a higher probability of getting in the class. The way the waitlist works is that from that list, if any of these 25 who are enrolled drops it, then automatically the first person who got on the waitlist gets into the class. But that's, of course, before the class has started. After the class has started, you have to go in manually with the permission number. But this is really important to know because this reduces your options when you're looking for a class. If you're in between two classes, let's say they're the same English 105 classes or math classes, you want to go with the one that has the less amount of people that are on the wait list, because that means that you have a higher probability of getting into that class. And you can see that by the amount of people that are on the wait list. In this case, there's already 7 people on the wait list. There's one more person that can get on the wait list, but they have a less chance of getting in since there's already 7 people. That does not mean, though, that it's impossible. You can still get in, but you would still have to wait until the very first day of class to see if anyone drops the class and there's still room for you to get in. From here, you can get the description and then, of course, the textbook materials you would click on it. But if it says no textbooks required for the class, then you wouldn't have to check that link. So I'm going to select the class. When you select it, it pops up this right here. It says add to shopping cart. And it says enrollment preferences. Right here, since it's waitlist, I would have to click waitlist if class is full. I would have to click this check mark just to make sure that I'm waitlisting the class. I would always confirm that this information is correct, and then I would click next. And it says that it has been added to my shopping cart. I want to emphasize though that by adding it to your shopping cart, this does not mean that you're enrolled. You still have to make one more step. So I would click view search results. Okay. And right here in my shopping cart, I can show all, and it'll show me the list of classes that I have added to my shopping cart. Once you always want to make sure that you add all of your classes first to your shopping cart before you add classes. Once you've done that, then you can go in to your shopping cart either by clicking shopping cart or by going on the left side and clicking enrollment add classes. Before I do that, I do want to mention to make searching easier for you. Right here where it says new search and modify search, always click modify search, because if you click new search, it'll empty your search restrictions. So it'll change, let's say if you're looking for the fall semester, it'll change it back to summer if you click new search. So you want to click modify search and then just modify the subject. Now I'm going to go to enroll add classes. Okay, I want to select the term. Since I'm signed up for summer, I want to select fall. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, it shows me my class schedule, and then it shows me also the class that I just added to my shopping cart, the status. And so I want to click proceed to step 2 of 3. If for any reason something isn't working out in your shopping cart, you notice that the class that was open is now closed, or that you wanted a wait list, it's no longer available, you can always go back to searching over here or entering a class number to add it to your shopping cart automatically. You want to click proceed to step 2 of 3. And then you can just click finish enrolling. Of course, as always, make sure that you're confirming the information. Okay, and it says class 40625 is full, and that I have been placed on the wait list in position number 8. And there's a check mark meaning that I have successfully completed this action. If for whatever reason when you try to add a class, there's a red X, that means that the process wasn't able to get finalized. And so you want to read the message because it's very specific in telling you the reason why it didn't finalize the information or the process. Okay, and you can go to add another class, or you can go back to see your class schedule. In this case, I want to go back to home and I want to show you how to drop a class. So let's say you don't want to take that class anymore. So I want to go to my classes and I want to click drop a class. This process, too, you would still have to drop a class if you want to register to a waitlisted class. I'm selecting the term because that's where the class is in fall 2020. When you waitlist a class, you're on the waitlist. And so when you speak with the professor, once the class has started, they will give you a permission number. For that permission number, you want to have that on hand, as well as the before you drop it, you also want to have this number that's at the bottom. It's the 5-digit number, that's the CRN for the class, you also want to have that on hand. So let's see, this one, to be able to add the class and enroll in the class, I would have to drop it. Okay, so just make sure that this is the class that you want to drop selected classes, okay, confirm your selection, and then finish dropping. There you go. And I have successfully removed it from my class. And so when you're waitlisting a class, you would have to drop that course, as I mentioned before. And then you would have to add it again with that permission number. And this would work even if it's closed. So keep that in mind. It's okay if it has a blue square. As long as you have the permission number, it should go through. Okay. So now it shows me my class schedule with all the modifications I made. So I dropped the class. It doesn't show up on my class schedule just because the semester hasn't started yet. So it isn't affecting me in that way. But if you are waitlisting a class, it'll show you your position. So right here it says waitlist position 4, and as people move up, you move up too. So it'll let you know what number you are in as time goes on. And now finally, I want to go to the My Financial Aid tab. And so a lot of people, and it can be very concerning if your financial aid has gone through, if you're going to receive financial aid. Um, that's why this page is so important to have access to and to be continuously checking on it. So of course, items pending, it'll let me know if I have any messages. It says I have 43 that I have to check. But right here, My Financial Aid tab, this one you can just scroll down and just see your financial aid. You can choose it by the academic year. In this case, let me try 2020, 2021. So for this academic year, since if you already submitted your FAFSA and it has been processed, it would show up here. It tells you what award you're receiving and the offer amount and the accepted amount. Now this one, you have to keep in mind that this one is for tuition purposes. And so it will pay for your classes. You wouldn't receive it as a check. But if you were receiving like a scholarship or a Pell Grant, it would tell you that you're receiving the Pell Grant or the Cal Grant, and it will tell you the amount similar to how it shows here. And from there, you would see how much is the accepted amount. This accepted amount, though, between the offer amount and accepted amount, it could be different depending on how many units you're taking. If you're a full-time student, you may be receiving the whole of the amount, where if you're just taking part-time classes, you will receive less according to the percentage in units. So that's why you want to make sure to check this. And if it's not showing up, then you definitely want to talk and make sure that your application has gone through. Mhm. Now I cannot pass the or forget about talking about how to make a payment just really quickly. I do want to make sure that you are aware of, and the reason why I mentioned to you that you want to add all the classes to your shopping cart, it's because once you add them to your shopping cart and you add them, the system will automatically have you owe whatever, if it's the tuition fees or just the health fee, but you still have to pay them before you can add another class. So that's why you want to add them all at once, so that afterwards, if you need some time to pay, you have that time without worrying that you can't add a class and that class will get filled because you can't add it at the moment. At this time, it shows me that I have no outstanding charges due, but right here where it says make a payment, it would show me how much I owe, and then how to pay it. If you would just click continue and fill the information that it asks you. So right now, I do want to pause and ask if you have any questions so far. Um, you know, we are happy to assist you in any of these stuff. If you have any questions on how to pay your tuition and fees, how to add a waitlisted class, all of that. Okay. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. Once again, so this is what it would look like if you can see on my screen. It says due now, $21, what you owe. Then you want to click make a payment, and then once you click make a payment, then it would prompt you to put in the amount and your information. It's similar to how to get a parking permit. It's in the same tab. You would click order and pay online on my SDCD. Under my finances, you want to click the parking permit AS card um, right here. And then you want to right here on this area select the quantity of how many parking permits you want. There's also differences. You want to choose auto if it's a car, and moto if it's a motorcycle, and it will calculate total before you can click next. Now keep in mind that this will be mailed to you, and the reason why, even though campus is closed, why the parking permit would be relevant for you is if you would need to get access to a Wi-Fi hotspot. There's parking, uh, there's Wi-Fi hotspots, sorry, available on campus, and so you will need a parking permit and a copy of your class schedule or a screenshot of it, and this will allow you to use these free Wi-Fi hotspots. And so we have posted the locations of where they are on our Instagram page too. But here is City College parking lot number 5. It's 16th and C Street. It's lot 5. So lot 5 is right here. Um, here's 16th, and then here's C Street. And then right here is the Child Care Center. Okay. And so make sure that you're following these parking guidelines. We will be also posting them on the chat, but basically, for best reception, use the parking spaces near the building. Make sure that you're parking in the marked staff or student spaces, and that you're parking with a space in between each vehicle, so that there should be an empty space in between, so you're parking in every other space. Please, only owners of a valid disabled pack card use a disabled parking space. And then also that we ask that only members of the same household are in each vehicle. Remember, we're still social distancing. Occupants must remain in their vehicles. And remember that since campus is closed, restrooms and other on-campus services are not available. So keep that in mind. College police will be continually monitoring the parking lot, and the student code of conduct and other parking guidelines are in effect. So please have your parking permit, student ID, or class schedule, because these are required. A screenshot or a printout of it is fine. So it doesn't have to be necessarily a printout. If you don't have access to a printer, you can also have a screenshot of it on your phone. So I want to give some space to any questions. If you have any questions right now or comments, I would love to hear your comments, questions. If you're just joining us right now, thank you for joining us. And if you have not done so yet, please sign in to the link provided in the chat. Thank you once again for joining us. And if you would like, please introduce yourself in the chat too. I want to get to know you, your name and your major. And once again, ask those questions or comments. We want to answer them. We want to support you in every way we can. Also, if you need any assistance on what we went over, my CCD, like I mentioned before, you can call us and we can assist you. But you can also check out a YouTube playlist that has been done for students, and we will be posting that link on the chat. It's also saved to our YouTube channel so that you guys have that available to you. It's an SDCC, my SDCCD playlist. It shows you how to add classes, how to waitlist, everything we went over. It shows it to you through these videos too, and you can just search for them at the playlist, um, because they are titled depending on what you're looking for. So I highly encourage you to check these out. Okay, so we have a question. Are there any other tuition related fees after the waiver on the portal? So for the waiver, that waiver pays for your classes. Um, Once you pay for the classes, you do have to pay the health fee. The waiver does not cover that. So that should be $21 for the fall semester. So there are tuitions, and that's not counting any books that you need to buy. That's also not covered. That would be if you're going to get awarded the Pell Grant, you can use that money in the bookstore online. So there's that too. Okay. Is there any other question? That's a very good question, by the way. Thank you, Moises. Okay. So I will be continuing on with Canvas. So Canvas is the online student platform that professors use for their classes online. That's sort of like their main classroom where they're putting everything in. And students have access to their classes through this website. Once again, how do you log into Canvas? You want to search stccd.instructure.com. You want to log in using your 10-digit user ID and password. Um, your user ID would be your 10-digit student ID number, and then your password would be your birthday. So the two numbers of the month, 2 of the day, and then the 4 of the year. And you wouldn't need to use the diagonals. It would all be just the numbers. That is, of course, if one after you logged in the first time, you didn't change it. So you can change your password afterwards. But if it's your first time logging in, or if you haven't changed your password, this should be your password and your 10-digit student ID, your user ID. Okay. So for Canvas courses, you do need to be enrolled in a course. And every class will have an individual class shell that will show up in your dashboard. And every professor structures their shell and differently according to the type of class. I do want to note that it does take about 24 hours for a class to show up on your Canvas after registering for it. You will only be able to access a class until that class begins. So in the case of a late start class, let's say the semester does start August 17th, but the class doesn't start until September, then in September, that's when you will get the class to be available on Canvas. Okay, so I want to show you how I would navigate on my personal Canvas, just so you have an idea of how that goes or how that works. So here's my Canvas, my specific Canvas, and I want to show you how to navigate it. But I also want to show you some examples on some courses. And also, I want you to note that each professor professor, sorry, will structure their show differently according to the type of class and their organization preference. So just because this individual Canvas class looks this way does not mean that yours will, but in general, they do all look similar. As you can see on my dashboard, we have on the left side your account where you can change your information, your dashboard, so where you can see all your classes, courses, where you can switch between courses, here, there. If you click all courses, it'll show you all the courses you've been signed up to. Your calendar, any messages that you have sent or that the professor has sent you will be in the inbox. And then the help section. So this help button, it sends you to how you can contact Canvas support. It also gives you access to a bunch of videos for you to take advantage of if you're not sure how to submit an assignment or how to do something on Canvas. And I also want to point out that they do have online help where you can chat with them. On the right, you will have this to-do list where it correlates a bit with your calendar, but basically based on what the professor has put on, they want to make sure that you know that what's on your to-do list is something that you're completing or that you have to at least check out and know of. Let's check out this Japanese class that I'm taking, and I want to point this, or I want to show this because this class, it's an online remote class. So I'm still meeting with the class through Zoom. So it still has that in-person element, even though it's virtual in-person element where we're meeting in some sort of virtual modality. And so she put the course syllabus, the course schedule, and then right here, I want to mention mainly the menus. So we have the home page. So as you can see, this is the home page. Any announcements that she has posted. The assignments page is where she will be putting all the assignments in. These assignments are not limited to the quizzes and tests. So I can also see my assignments, my quiz assignments and my test assignments here. Then I can see my grades, the syllabus once again, any quizzes I have to take or tests, and then modules. And so I want to show you modules just because it looks different than assignments. Right here, she put them by categories, syllabus and daily schedule, lesson 1. She put them in categories, lesson 4, which is what we're going over, and then lesson 5, and so on. But assignments, it just gives me a list of assignments without this organization that she did with the modules. This just tells me this is the assignment that you have due. This is the amount of points that it has, if it's available or if it's not available, as you can see. It also tells me how much points it's worth. And so note that the available until July 29 is different than the due date. So keep that in mind. They may be different for your class. The other thing I do want to note, this little airplane means that it's something that I have to complete online. This little, it looks like a paper with a pencil. This means that I do have to write out this assignment and I have to submit it. And what I mean by that is that, let me click on this. There you go. File types, it gives me PDF, JPEG, and then PNG. So I want to click submit assignment, and then I would choose file from my computer. And I can attach, as you can see, because the professor has allowed it to be possible that way, to be a PDF, a JPEG, or a PNG, so like a picture. And I would be able to take a picture of it and then upload it that way. Okay. Let me cancel this. And I want to go back now. So for courses, here you can jump from one course to another. In this case, I want to jump now to my art design class because this is fully online. And so that you can know, the difference that you can see are mostly because of the type of class. This is more of an art design class. The other one is a Japanese class. You can see the announcements are on the top. So that's not something that my Japanese class has. So this professor has arranged it this way, and then they introduce themselves in the rest. Okay. And so once again, I have announcements on the left side, syllabus, modules, discussions, grades, assignments, comp resume, and all of this, and also access to the library. I do want to point out this is very similar to my other Japanese class, so there's not much of a difference in any of this. But I do want to highlight the discussions portion because that's not in my Japanese class. This discussions portion, if there's something that you have to contribute, so some online classes, this is your mode of participating in the class and communicating with your classmates. Right here, pin discussion. So this is recent discussions. It shows me when they're available. This one is the most recent one. This is the one that I have due by Sunday. I would click on it. And as you can see, it's something that I have to either type in or write out. And so most of these, they give you the prompt. So I have to post, in this case, some images that I have drawn out. But in some cases, you have to answer a prompt. And it tells you how long they want it answered. And then at least 3 of your peer posts. So that's another thing that I have to reply to my peers. To be able to even see the rest of the post, I have to make sure I reply. So I have to answer the prompt by clicking reply, and once I click reply, it'll open it so that I can write out the answer. Okay. Now going back to the PowerPoint, because I know that it is 11:59. Okay, once again, as I mentioned before, um, now, you can also download this app on your cell phone. So you can either download it on the App Store or Google Play. You would just search Canvas, and then once you download the app, you would type in San Diego City College, log in using your username and password, and this is what it would look like. It would look like this red circle with dots, and it should say Canvas. And you would log in, once again, the same way that you logged in through your desktop. Does anyone have any questions? I know that we're reaching the end of my presentation, or this is the end of my presentation actually. I want to know if you have any questions. Um, okay. And thank you for watching us. Please fill out the evaluation form that we have posted on our presentation chat down below. This is the link. And we are hosting City Ready sessions throughout the month and next month as well. Today was the part 1 of our City Ready session. So City Ready session 1. But next week we will be doing, for July 31st, session 2, ensuring your success at City. So we will be going over the syllabus, topics like syllabus navigation, how to get connected to your professor. We will go over some study skills and time management strategies, and then also student success support services and resources, because we went briefly over like remote online student services like financial aid, counseling, how to find that information, how to reach them. But we also want to make sure that once you start that beginning, you know what to look for. We are hosting them Fridays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And you can RSVP. We will be posting that RSVP link. You can all RSVP and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where you would be able to watch us live, and you will get notified when we go live. So I highly encourage you to follow us or subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on our Facebook pages, Instagram page, and then Twitter page too, because that's where we are posting resources, and we're trying to get to you all any updates that are going on campus. Okay, once again, thank you for watching, and please fill out that following um, the evaluation form that we will be posting. That really helps us in seeing what content you guys want to see and how we can better support you. Finally, once again, we are available um, Monday through Friday, um, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can call us at 619-800-2739. We can assist you with questions with assistance with applying, with your financial aid application for MyCCD or Canvas. We also do online Zoom assistance appointments where we can support you online. You can share your screen, and we can help you like that. We can You can also email us for general questions to sdcitycollegepeeradvocates@gmail.com. We are answering questions daily. We're checking that daily, so please check that out. Also, check out our website. It's our Peer Lab website where it gives you direct links to how you can make an appointment with us. Also, if you would like to receive live updates on student resources or live seminars and support services, once again, we are live on social media. I highly suggest you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you don't have any questions or comments, um, I have loved presenting for you this information. Thank you for participating and asking those questions. Those are very important for us to answer and make sure that you guys are getting supported in every way possible, and that we're answering your questions.
Thank you so much, Diane. I honestly think this was an amazing information and resource. I hope you guys found this information insightful and useful, and hopefully that you tune in to our second City Ready session next Friday, like Diane detailed. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.